Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Lucy and today we are talking about how to deal with your eczema. I'm going to give you 7 tips that will hopefully help clear up your eczema. Just a disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am somebody who suffered from eczema most of my life, and my son, who is 2, also has eczema, so I have a life experience that I am happy to share. If you're new here and you're interested in these kind of videos, I post 1 to 2 videos a week on allergies and eczema and all those sorts of things, and I would love it if you can subscribe. But first off, let's get started. So as you probably know, eczema can be persistent, but preventing it is really key in helping you prevent massive flare-outs. So these are some of my suggestions. The first thing I wanted to talk about was having a daily wash routine. If you know anything about eczema, you know that it is important to still keep bathing because it does actually help your skin. But there are some things that can help you prevent your eczema from getting worse and help to restore and moisturize your skin. And I'm going to talk about some of the products that we use and that have really helped us. So first up, I recommend having a bath each day rather than showering. Now, if you look on the Mayo Clinic's website, they recommend either, but I like to use Oilatum, and I find that really helps my skin. I'll post a little photo of it here. It's really fantastic. You can add 1 to 3 little capfuls of it in your bath. I tend to go all out and add 3, and I add about 2 for my son, and it's really helps to restore our skin. So what we do is actually before the bath, so we'll run a lukewarm bath. It's important with eczema not to do too hot, which I'm sure you've probably learned that. And then we use Diprobase, which I will show you is here. We have big tubs of these everywhere because it is so good. So it actually says on here eczema cream, but I think it can also not say eczema cream, and it works. It's all basically the same. So we have these big tubs everywhere, and then I have little ones that I put in my handbag. And so we will use this when our skin's really bad. I'll use it before washing, but when it's not so bad, I'll just use it after washing. Now, the most important thing, and this is highlighted on the Mayo Clinic website, is that you make sure that you use a cream like this within 3 minutes of bathing. And when you are bathing, just remember not to scrub your skin too much. Just gently wash your skin and then use a towel to pat dry. So cleaning and bathing. There are lots of things that you can do during the week to help improve your eczema. So I'm going to go through some of them. So obviously using an oil in the bath like Oliatum is really good, and that's something I do every day. Now, if your eczema is really bad at times, there are some kind of home remedies that you can do. These are actually, I've looked them up on the Mayo Clinic, and they do recommend all of these ones, so they are legit. But obviously, if you're concerned about it, check with your doctor. So I'm going to look down at my computer because I've got some notes here. But one of the first ones is baking soda. So they recommend a 1/4 cup of baking soda in your full bath. You can also take the baking soda and just rub it directly on your skin. If you're having to do things like cleaning and stuff like that, my suggestion would be to wear cotton gloves and then put plastic gloves over the top, and that will help protect your skin with cleaning. But when you're actually bathing, you can use baking soda. That's really good. The other one, and this was, I was like, whoa, when I read about this, but I did confirm it on the Mayo Clinic, and it is a thing. I have not tried it, but if any of you have tried it, please comment below. I would love to hear how it helped your skin. They recommend not doing this more than 3 times a week, but it's called a bleach bath. So I think they recommend a 1/4 cup. A 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of bleach in your bath. Then you soak in it for 10 minutes, and you can then wash it off if you felt there's been irritation, or you can just pat dry, whichever is fine. And apparently that really helps. So if you've tried it, do please comment below. I'd love to hear. I have not yet tried it. I'm a bit nervous about that one. But it is legit because it is on the Mayo Clinic website. So the other ones that they've recommended is adding vinegar or salt to your bath. They didn't specify amounts with that, so I guess you could see what works for you. Those are other ones that you can try, but the most important thing is, and this is something that we make sure we do, is not using anything with harsh products in it. So if anything's got alcohol in it, then I wouldn't use it. You want to try and use a water-based cleanser, and that's something that I would really recommend. I find when I use alcohol, it really irritates my skin, which is really frustrating because obviously right now we all want to use alcohol gel because of the coronavirus. But anyway, so I normally go out with gloves, and that's really helped my skin to protect me when I'm out and about. So number 3, and the other thing that you can do is, if you're really, really itchy, is using antihistamines. I would obviously talk to your doctor to find out which ones are good, but Benadryl is something that I use if I'm particularly itchy, or Pirites I've also found helpful. So that's something that you could do or talk to your doctor about. This one is super duper important. Don't scratch. I know you really want to, and I know when it's really itchy you just want to, but trust me, don't scratch. You'll then just make it worse. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you have scratched and you know that it makes it worse. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I do scratch, it's like night, you wake up and you're not sleeping, you're like, ugh. But do your best to not scratch. When I'm itchy, I will immediately go get Diprobase, and if it's really bad, I will use some medication, which I will talk about in a minute. But do your best to not scratch. So light therapy, this is something that's quite easy for me because I am in the Bahamas. It might be a little bit more tricky if you're not in the Bahamas, well, if you're in somewhere cold. But light therapy, this is something that is on the Mayo Clinic website as well, and I didn't know about this. It is something that obviously naturally I am in a more humid environment and there is a lot of sunlight here. So I think that is why my eczema is a lot better here. But they actually talk about the fact that sunlight does help your skin. So obviously you do need to be careful not to be too long because there are UV rays and you don't want to get sunburn, yada yada yada. But apparently sunlight really helps your eczema. So relaxation and counselling. This is key. I know for me that my eczema flare-ups are worse when I'm stressed, and I think we probably all know that. So if you are having a flare-up, I guess my suggestion would be just to stop, work out. What is it you're stressed about? I know right now for me, I've had more eczema than I usually do because coronavirus. And that is stressful, and it's okay that it's stressful. So whatever the reason is for you, why your eczema is bad at the moment or worse at the moment, I think just learning how to manage that stress and doing things, for me, like going and exercising. If I'm exercising regularly, I feel emotionally so much better because I'm able to get out some of that stress. Talking to people really helps, but if you feel like you need counselling, don't hesitate. It's always worth it, and if it helps your eczema, I'm sure it will be worth it. Number 7, this might be an obvious one for you, but just make sure you're using products in your house that are eczema friendly. Maybe if you've try switching your washing powder out, or just make sure that everything that you're using when on your skin or is touching your skin is eczema friendly. There are lots of resources out there that can tell you some really good products to use. We use a couple of different washing powders that have been really helpful, and we've just found them through looking at on the eczema sites. Finally, identifying the allergies around you. It might be that your eczema is related to a particular allergy. It might be that, I know for some people, they swear that dairy makes their eczema worse. If that's the case for you, then try cutting out dairy. It might not make a difference for you, but it might. For me, I don't think it makes a difference, but that's just me. It's not to say that dairy won't make a difference cutting it out for you. Everyone is different, and so I would try cutting things out if you feel like that will help you. And of course my suggestion is to go see an allergist if it's really bad, and they can give you some medication, some cream, some cortisone cream and some ointment that can help. Obviously that's not long term, we can't use those creams forever, but if it gets really bad, it's definitely worth doing something like that. Anyway, thanks for watching. It was great to be able to think about all of this stuff again. I feel like it's part of my routine now, so but it's nice to stop and think about how eczema is. If you do these things regularly, I find that my eczema is really not really an issue for much of the time. So hopefully you can share some helpful things for other people, and if there's anything that you share that you think would be really helpful, I'd love to hear it. And thanks for watching.